Good morning, everybody. My name is Terry. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terry. Happy to have you join me today. By the way, if you're finding Tuesdays with Terry to be helpful or beneficial or, a positive 10 or 15 minutes for you and your day, would you do me a favor? Would you be so kind as to share Tuesdays with Terry with a friend or family member and somebody that you think might be able to use my words of encouragement, my words of self-empowerment, my words of leadership, my words of management, sales, business, etc. Boy, I'd sure appreciate it. I'm trying to expand the program and would love to have you share it with a friend or family member. Today, what I want to share with you or talk about is how's it going? How's it going? If you and I were sitting down either in a bar, in a coffee shop, or just sitting down on your living room couch, and we were talking and I asked you that question, how's it going? You know, most people, when you get into network functions, everybody wants to tell you how great it is and how wonderful it is and how fabulous it is and how sales are up and revenues are up. And the truth of the matter is, you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt. And so, personal disclosure, I've had a tough year in the business, in the fitness business. We've had a tough year. We think the macroeconomics have affected us. A lot of things affecting us, but it's been a tough year in the fitness business. We got hit one of the hardest in COVID. Not making excuses because we're, 3 years post-COVID, but it's been a bit of a tough year, to be honest with you. And so many times, if you're like me, you get discouraged, you get down on yourself, you're looking for answers, you can't find it. You're hoping, wanting, wishing, that things could be a little bit different. And so what I want to share with you today is I want to remind you that the road to success, the road to doing something really good in your life, the road to being better, doing better, feeling better, looking better, having an impact in your community, building a business, whatever it is you're trying to do, it's not always easy. And so sometimes, a way to look at it is you go, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? What road am I on here, right? We've all heard that story from the poet, I think it's Robert Frost, 2 roads diverge in the woods, right? And I took the road less taken. Did you ever find yourself on that road? Boy, I sure have. You ever find yourself on a road that's a little dark? It's a little bit uphill. That's a little painful. It's got a lot of potholes, a lot of bumps. It's got, in some cases, some blockage on the road. Some trees have fallen across the road. You might be driving through a storm. It's pretty windy out there. You might have a flat tire while you're out there on that road. It's not well lit. There's not good signage on that road. There's not anybody saying this is exactly what to do. This is exactly where you need to go. I'm talking about the road of life. I'm talking about the road that you might be on, that you're finding and asking yourself, should I really be on this road? And you might have your friend saying, what are you doing over there? Why don't you come over here? Why don't you get on the highway? Why don't you get on this 6-lane highway that, boy, I tell you, the cars are beautiful and the streets are smooth and the signage is amazing and the GPSs work over here, Out where you are, you ever been there? You been there? I have. I've been on a road where my GPS didn't work. My phone signal didn't work. Isn't that what it feels like when you're building a business? Isn't that what it feels like when you're struggling in your business? Your GPS is off. You don't know if I should go left, should go right. You don't know what's about to happen. You're getting some resistance and probably you're starting to doubt yourself. You're starting to become afraid. It's getting dark and it's a thunderstorm. And, now you're not driving quite as fast as they are over on the superhighway. You're driving a little bit slower because you're a little nervous. You're a little afraid. You don't want to have an accident. You don't want to have a catastrophe. You don't want to have a breakdown where your phone's not working and you can't get the tires and maybe you don't have a spare tire anyway. Maybe you don't have spare stuff. I don't know what it is. But it becomes emotional and it becomes fearful and it becomes anxious. You ever felt like that? I have. And your friends and your family and your loved ones and the people that care about you, they say, why in the world are you going through that? Why don't you get over here on the superhighway where you can collect a paycheck? To this day, my dad doesn't understand exactly how I get paid by owning businesses, right? My dad always told me, get a good job, get a secure job, right? Work for somebody that you can have a secure job and steady income. And that's the life that he lived in a post, back in the 40s and 50s. That was his life. That's what he was taught to do because of the stock market crash, right? The Great Depression. He was a depression baby. I'm just telling you. Which road are you on? We feel sometimes that we're in isolation, or we feel like we're alone on the road that we're on. We might feel like we don't have a team around us, or nobody can help us, or we might feel like there's no lights on this road. We don't know when to stop. We don't know when to go. We don't know when to yield. We don't know when to turn left. We don't know when to turn right. You're in discovery. You're pioneering. You're forging a path like Lewis and Clark were when they discovered the country. Sometimes your inner voice starts telling you, starts questioning. You've heard that inner talk before. Maybe I should quit. Maybe I should get off this road. Maybe I should do something different. Maybe I should try something else. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I've stuck on this too long. Maybe it's served its course. It's run its course. And maybe if you're in Orange Theory Fitness, you're thinking about some of that right now. I just came off of a convention. Orange Theory Fitness had our annual convention out in Colorado Springs. It was a great convention. I can't tell you, I came out of that convention encouraged and hopeful about some of the things that the parent company is putting forth to help us become stronger, better, faster, and serve our communities even much more than what we're currently serving them today. But if you're feeling that way, if you're thinking you might be on the wrong road, I want to tell you this. No great person, no innovator, no person that ever started or built wealth or built a business was ever on the smooth road, the superhighway. They were always on the difficult road, never knowing, never certain, always questioning, feeling alone, feeling anxious, feeling fear because they didn't know. I'm telling you, great things and innovations and creative people. And if you're trying to build a business, you're on that road. If you find yourself on that road, you're on the right road. That's the road to success. That is the road to overcome. If you're on the smooth road collecting a paycheck, at the end of 10 years, at the end of 20 years, the result will be you'll look back and you will have regrets that you were on that smooth road. You don't look at it like this now, but the things you are learning, I can't tell you how much I have learned in the last 8 to 9 months. I have learned a ton, but it has been incredibly stressful. It has been incredibly difficult. It has been incredibly, taxing on me personally. But I'm learning a ton, and I keep looking at that and I go, what am I learning? I'm becoming a better CEO by the things that I'm learning and the business pieces that I'm learning, even though it's tough. And I'm telling you, sometimes when it's tough, you have to keep telling yourself it's worth it. I want to tell you 3 things that I think you can do to help yourself if you find yourself on that tough road, on that dark road, on that muddy road, on that rainstorm road, on the one with all the holes, potholes, pitfalls, all of those things. Number 1, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Get a mentor. Get a group, an advisory group of 4 or 5 people that will encourage you and have been down this path before. They've been down that road, but you need to be able to see light at the end of the tunnel, and those mentors will help you see light at the end of the tunnel. Find those 4 or 5 people that have done what you're trying to do. May not be in the same industry, but they've done it. And you've got to associate with them, you've got to talk with them, and you've got to communicate with them, and they will be your encouragement. They will be, your little engine that will allow you to make it. Number 2 is you've got to fill your mind with the good stuff. In the absence of filling your mind, it makes up stories. My wife continues to tell me this all the time. Terry, you're making that up. That's not true. Just wait. That's a story. You don't know that. And isn't that true? In the absence of information, we make up crap. We tell ourselves things, and we don't tell ourselves the good things. You're telling yourself the bad things. So how do you get over that? You fill your mind with the pure, the positive, the good stuff. You listen to the speakers. You listen to the tapes. You listen to the motivational speakers. You listen to the podcast. You get on those YouTube videos and you fill your mind and you fill your mind and you fill your mind, because when it's filled with the good stuff, there is no room for the bad stuff. And the last thing I would share with you is, how do you overcome some of that adversity or some of the anxiety or some of the anxiousness that you're feeling? You know, the story is said about the man who complained about not having any shoes until he finally saw a man that had no feet. And isn't it true that we always think our situation is the most difficult until we find somebody who's in a much more difficult situation than us? In the last 3 weeks, I found out 2 people that I know have cancer, and one gentleman I know went into hospice and has weeks to live. And here I was complaining about my business. I was complaining it wasn't going well. And the truth is, this guy is living his last days. It's tough. I guess my situation isn't so bad. Last week, one of my best friends found out that his wife's sister passed unexpectedly, young woman. And I go, what does it feel like to have grief or lose a friend or family member, somebody close in your family? I'm not going through that. I have. I'm not doing it right now. And so my point is, many times when you start thinking about how bad your situation is or how bad the road that you're on, maybe you need to look around a little bit and observe some other people's road or some other people's life. Maybe, just maybe, it's not quite as bad as you think it is. There's good in everything, right? Somebody asked me the other day, how's your day going? I said, it's a good day. Some days are better than others, right? But I'm just saying is, many times we are self-focused and we're focused on ourselves and we're looking at our own life. And many times you can change your perspective simply by looking around the room, looking around the world, looking around the city, the town, the area, the community that you're in, and looking at some other people's lives and saying, you know what, I don't really have it that bad. And what I would tell you is, if you can get out and volunteer, whether it's volunteering at a hospital, whether it's volunteering at a Boys and Girls Club, whether it's volunteering in some situations, that many times helps you to get perspective and look internally at your own life and say, you know what? Is it tough? Yeah. Is this the right road to be on to get to the greatness, or to get to success, or to get where you want to go? And the answer is yes. But it's not as bad as you think it is, as long as you keep looking around and make sure you keep perspective and look at some other people's lives as well. My name's Terry. I'm your friend. Hope this was helpful.